thumbnail? Redo it?
Shalom.
Shalom.
So, getting started, post-camp, for those that were tuned into the live stream, we had a demon, wicked bug out come up to the camp and try to fight us, try to entice us with the N-word, try to basically get us to attack him, you know? Now, we've seen this a few times at camps around the country as far as men that teach the true doctrine. It happened with Dallas as far as they had Edomites come up to the camp with box wine, trying to get, you know, us to, you know, basically give in to, you know, to him as far as, you know, do you love me, so on and so forth. You had this happen with the brothers in LA.
You know, recently on Saturday,
Con.
yeah, they had this agent, trial possession of Esau Edom, going against the brothers, man, trying to get them to get carnal.
Yep. And you had the paddy wagon set up right across from the camp, you know? So we decided to switch the location up and continue as far as the lesson, talking about a little bit about what happened, and, you know, just bring out some articles, rocking the spirit, and whatever comes out, comes out. But Akim, you got to remind yourself of what you signed up for, you know, and to remain spiritual. You know, it took a lot of restraint for men to stay spiritual in that situation, because this man was trying to bring carnality at us. And at the same time, when he came up, the first thing that he said was, I just got out the feds. And we were just talking about agent provocateurs, men coming up to the camp wanting to start turmoil, men coming up to the camp wanting to start fights, and so on and so forth. And you're going to have a lot more of that as we get closer to the end. You know, as far as men coming up, wanting to fight, men coming up, threatening people, so on and so forth. And that's a part of the walk. That's a part of the doctrine. As far as in times, you're going to have men waxing worse and worse. You're going to see Esau Edom get sloppier and sloppier with what he's bringing forth as far as agent provocateurs. And this man was an obvious agent provocateur. He called us the N-word, you know, pushed the brother Gamar. When we turned the cameras off, he tried to fight, tried to get us to swing on him, you know? And we were just talking about, you know, them doing that and them sending agents and so on and so forth. And then 15 minutes later, we had that situation manifest. And that's how you know that Esau Edom's hurt. Because this report is tearing him up, it's killing him on the inside, and this man is losing the information battle, he's losing the spiritual battle, so he has no choice but to resort to carnality, you know? And it took a lot for men to restrain themselves from the old man.
And that just shows you that's you know, you have to be renewed in your mind, because the old, you know, I get to speak for brothers, you know, would have been a whole different story. But we're coming in a spiritual battle, you know, right now. We're in a spiritual battle. Our power is in Yahweh Shem Rashai, not in a carnality. So I just want to get a quick scripture just to back you up, brother. What happens when somebody, you know, does that or whatever, that you know, is doing certain things at camp, you know. So this is Matthew 10 and 14. And whoever, and this is Yahweh Shai speaking in red letter, and whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when you depart out of the house or city, shake the dust off your feet. Okay, so, and that's what we just did. You know, instead of us being at our regular spot, you know, we came over here to another spot, because this word has to be preached, you know, throughout the four corners of the earth, giving people warning, because the other camps out there that they might not have gone through something like this or whatever, or might not have seen it, and then they can be able to, we can use it for what? Edification. And that's what this is all about right here, is to be able to edify and clarify.
And that's how bad Esau Edom is losing right now, to the point where he has to use agent provocateurs, he has to use people who are in the carnality spirit, people who are people who are in the state of, you know, brown pride, you know, Latino pride, black pride, and that's what the spirit, that's the spirit that was on this guy. You know, he was calling us the N-word. And then he pushed the brother Gamar, because he didn't understand the spiritual gathering was Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans getting together. You know, it's not going to be, you know, all black thing, or all Latino thing, or all Native American thing. The two sticks are coming together, and you have a lot of our people, they don't understand what's going on. And the first thing he asks us is, are we Catholic? And he's into that Santa Muerte spirit.
Which goes back to the Issachar cartels, man. Getting carnal, okay, worshiping Shaitan, man. Okay, going against their own people, man.
not knowing that we're all one people.
Yep.
You know, and it's nothing but Esau, Edom, who's sending these people up to our camps. You had this happen in L.A. We've had this happen a couple times in San Diego, where men have come up and literally tried to fight us. You know,
just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay, just a couple of weeks ago. Same spirit, a drunken spirit, a lost spirit. You know, crying out for tears. We don't know if he was, you know, so-called Israelite or whatever. But the point is, he's not a brother, because he kept saying brother. And the thing is that your brother is only someone that's doing the work, and he didn't understand that we are all brothers right here. Okay? So he didn't understand the spiritual gathering. He's in a carnal mind. He's in the fed spirit, which is division, which Esau Edom is ruling over you and telling you what to do every day.
And who? And we were just bringing this information out about the Department of Homeland Security and the domestic terrorists, and the whole concept of that has changed as of February 7th. And what'd you have come up? A guy that said, I just got out the feds, and tries to fight us, tries to get us to swing on him, you know, gets off his bike, he's drunk, and then we're just talking about how these edge provocateurs are going to be coming up to the camps, and then Yahweh Shema Shai manifest for man. And that's a sign that we're getting closer to the end. And Esau Edom is going to use more desperation, more enchantments, more edge provocateurs, and it's going to get only more turned up the closer we get to the end. And that's what we got to remind ourselves to stay in the spirit.
It's the year of the turn up.
Yep.
So it's gonna get turned up on the right, but on the left hand side too. You know.
Just to touch real quick on that, you know, the two sticks being put together, because he was in that brown pride, or whoever's in that black pride, whatever that federal mindset. Okay, so this is Ezekiel 37:16. Moreover, the Son of Man, take the one stick, right, and that's why you have the brothers out there with the sign to be able to. That is a, you know, what do they call it?
It's a token.
A token, a sign. You know, basically something to be able to have people come in and say, oh, I'm that. You know what I mean, right? So it said, moreover, Son of Man, take one stick and write upon it for Judah, right? And for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, and the stick of Ephraim, and for the house of Israel, his companions. Okay, so that's what the spirit that we're coming in. These sticks are coming together. How are they coming together? By prophecy, by the prophets giving people warning, the people on the highways and the byways, the elders and apostles that push forth this word. You know, we might have. I think all brothers. We found this word through. This word came unto us through the unicorn. Okay, Yahweh Shema Shai spoke to us through the unicorn. Okay, and to be able to get this, you can't be. Oh, I'm a black Hebrew Israelite, which black means void of light. Oh, I'm just a Latino Hebrew Israelite. Again, those are all bywords that Esau Edom has given you to you know, give you nothing, give you false hope. You know, to give you death. Because when you're against your brothers, someone that's in this truth, guess what? You're lost. You're in darkness. And that's 2/3 of our people.
And Yahweh Shai said that he that hates his own brother is a murderer. You know? And that man is a murderer, man. In the form of, he's coming in the spirit of carnality. You have a lot of our people who are dumb, deaf, blind dogs, and they're going to not understand what's going on. And the closer we get to the end, they're going to be more carnal and more carnal and more carnal when they come into the camps. And Esau Edom is going to send some of those people actually on a mission to come and get strife stirred up, try to come and get stolen, you know, try to come and get brothers arrested, because you can't do the work if you're behind bars.
Yep.
You know, you got 50 rebuke videos going out about you, and you're in jail, and Esau Edom's looking to make you take the jump shot.
Yep.
You know, and that's why you got to remind yourself of what you signed up for, man. You know, we signed up to endure to the end. You're going to have to go through things like that, especially as we get nearer to Jacob's trouble, because Esau Edom, he's hurt. He's losing the information war. He's hurt. His plans ain't working no more. So he's going to send, you know, people who are desperate on a desperation mission. And that's what gangs do. Yep. They send little BGs on a suicide mission, man.
Especially your own people.
Yeah, his own people, you know. Yep. And that's what Esau Edom is doing. He's doing that to the rejects of our people and sending them on suicide missions so they can try to get brothers arrested, man. And that's been happening as far as that situation being increased, as far as Esau Edom doing it the past month and a half, 2 months. We've seen it. Starting with the situation that happened in Dallas. Those drunk Edomites, man. Now, they weren't being carnal, but at the same time, he got close.
Yep.
Now, we actually had a situation where this guy got carnal, man. You know? And that just shows that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, we have the truth. And this nigga Esau Edom's hurt.
Con.
You know, he's desperate. So desperate times call for desperate measures, man. And Esau Edom, he's not spiritual, so what's he gonna do? Resort to carnality. And he's gonna send carnal ass niggas up to the camp to try to get brothers arrested.
He's going to use our own people against us. That's why it says a man's foe shall be in his own household, but also, you know, in your family. Okay, not just in your own household, but your own people. So-called, you might have grew up with them or whatever. They're gonna take that bag, because that's what it seemed like it was. Is that they gave him a bag, he got out, and then here go do this stupid, you know, because we've, you know, because that's the only. You know what I mean?
Shorten your time. Here, go do this.
Yeah, here, go do this.
Oh.
We'll give you this certain incentive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He got nothing to lose anyway. You know what I mean? So he's gonna do it. He don't care. You know, because if he gets hit, what happens? Then the police come.
Yeah.
Now we got rebuke videos going on about us because we were cardinal. What we were doing earlier, we were speaking against Sakari and speaking against these groups that are cardinal.
And speaking against the government.
Yep.
And speaking against their plans. Speaking against the Department of Homeland Security and the feds, man.
Yep.
Because
Yeah, that's right.
you guys aren't gonna win.
God.
The beast isn't gonna win, man. The elect are gonna win. The elect are written to get the victory, man. So it doesn't matter how many agents you send up to the camp, you know, how many times you try to provoke brothers. Brothers are gonna stay in the spirit, man. Now Sakari would have shot the nigga. ISUPK would have jumped him. Everybody would have been getting arrested, man. Big old paddy wagon, red and blue everywhere, man. But we've been given an example, and we're supposed to be an example. And as spiritual men is to remain spiritual, man. Because you can't teach if you're locked up.
That's true.
And what are they making you do when you get locked up in San Diego County? In case you don't know, you're getting the hokey pokey.
Yep.
You know? So we'd have been getting the hokey pokey.
And then turn you around.
50 rebuke videos. You're not teaching anymore, and you're locked up, and now you're kicked out because you got a year and a half in jail, man. All because of some agent that Esau Edom sent. Let's go into that DHS information. We'll go into some of these articles and information, and then
I got a quick precept.
get some precepts and wrap on up. But just wanted to give y'all a post-camp update, man.
Live chat.
No, the DHS. What you're bringing out as far as the article, the bulletin.
Oh yeah, I couldn't even. Let me pull it back.
You didn't knock over your phone. You knocked over mine.
Yeah, but I couldn't read it because how I took the snapshot.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let me get through it.
Yeah, I go real quick. This is Philippians 1:27. Only let your conversation be as it becometh the gospel of Hamashiach, that whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear of your affairs, that ye stand fast in one spirit. And that's what the brothers were doing at camp. We were staying in the spirit. Okay, staying in the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. With one mind striving together for the faith of the gospel, the good news. So it's not about just one individual, but it's about the whole congregation, man. Staying in the spirit. Verse 28. And in nothing terrified by your adversaries, which is to them an evident token of perdition, but unto you salvation and that of Yahweh. So ultimately, man, when these scoffers and mockers come to the camp and try to get carnal and physical with brothers, that's a token, that's a sign for them to get judged. But for us, it's what? It's salvation. Verse 29. For unto you it is given in the behalf of Hamashiach, not only to believe on him, but also to suffer for his sake, having the same conflict which ye saw in me, and now here to be in me. So Yahweh Shemel Shai has given us the command to not just to believe in him, to have faith in him, but we also have to suffer for his name. And that's what happened to Apostle Paul. When the Lord woke up Apostle Paul, he told him that he was going to suffer for his name's sake, man.
You want to get Acts the 14th chapter?
Con.
And going into that, because what happened with Paul when he went to Iconium, man? You know, and Lystra, man? Antioch. Well, he got stoned, man. You know?
So Acts 14.
Yeah, con. I'm going to get Ephesians 5:15, and it reads, and Salakia for the noise in the background, we're actually in the main strip, you know, which is Garnett, you know, right here by the beach where everything is at, and all the bars are at, but we're away from where the madness is going out. This is Ephesians 5:15, and it reads, see then that you walk circumspectly. I'm gonna read again from the top. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, not as fools, but as wise. Why? Redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
Yep. And we're in those times, the evil times, when Esau Edom's going to start sending more, demons, to brothers' camp sessions, and they're gonna try to get physical, man. But we gotta stay well circumspect. That word circumspect means to be looking at your surroundings 360, man.
Again, Ephesians 5:15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil.
Yep.
Down to 17. Wherefore, be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And what's the will of the Lord? It's to preach, prophesy, feed the sheep, and walk in the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death.
Yep.
This is Romans 8 and 2. I'm gonna start. Let me get right to the point. Romans 8 and 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. And what's peace? Eventually getting the kingdom, man. And in this eon, in this age, Esau Edom is ruling, and this man is completely averse to peace and righteousness, the report, the many Yahweh Shem Yahshai, and he's ultimately mad, because he's gonna lose, and he's losing the information war, he's losing the spiritual battle. So what's he gonna do? Result to carnality.
They say, bro, it says in Revelation, the 12th chapter, he knows that he had but a short time, so therefore he's gonna come down with great wrath.
Yep.
So and that's happening, right? So Acts 14:1, it says, and it came to pass in Iconium that they went both together into the synagogue of the Jews, and so spake that a great multitude both of the Jews and also of the Greeks believed. Verse 2. But the unbelieving Jews stirred up the Gentiles and made their minds evil affected against the brethren. Start at 2, bro?
20, around
Oh,
18,
kind.
20, yep.
Acts
get
14.
to as well, then get down to 18, 20.
Okay, Acts 14 and 18. And with these sayings, scars restrained they the people, that they had not done sacrifice unto them. And there came thither certain Jews from Antioch and Iconium, who persuaded the people, and having stoned Paul, threw him out of the city, supposing he had been dead.
Yep. So Paul, he was preaching in Iconium and Lystra and in Antioch, and they stoned him, man. And you have our same people who are going to come in that vibration in these last days, because the 2/3 are rejected from the foundation of the earth, and they're not going to understand what's going on. And you have a lot of carnally minded Israelites who are just vessels of wrath fit for destruction, and they're going to be used by Esau Edom to ultimately fulfill that purpose, man, and to come against the word so they can be destroyed.
Quick precept, this is Acts 9 and 15. But the Lord said unto Paul, go thy way, for you are a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show you how great things you must suffer for my name's sake. So back to Acts 14.
Yep, a quick precept real quick. Romans 8 and 7. Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. I'm going to get a 9 as well. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if so be that the Spirit of the Most High dwell in you. Now, any have not the Spirit of the Most High, of Hamashiach Slakia, he is none of his. Yep. And this man didn't have the Spirit of Hamashiach Yahushua. He had the spirit of Cain, man, the murderer, man.
You're about the devil. So 2 Corinthians 10 and 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of warfare are not carnal, but mighty through our power Yahweh to pulling down the strongholds. So yeah, our weapons of warfare is Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Ours is spiritual. Carnal is Esau Edom. That's his carnal, and that's what a lot of our people do. They want to trust in carnality. They want to trust in their guns. You know what I mean? They want to trust in a man. Okay, but our fight is spiritually. So when these certain things like that happen at camps and things like that, and they said, the scripture says it's going to be waxing colder. When you go on that wax cold, it goes into a cycle, right? And it goes into people are going to be on a bugged out state because again, what did they do a couple years ago? They gave him that. They give him that thing, especially if dude said he was locked up in the feds. So
Yeah.
you know he got it.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Now he's mixed with all the other stuff that they got out here.
He got the
Okay.
venom.
Then they got the 5G jumping. So it's just and then he's already an evil spirit. Again, his spirit doesn't bear witness with our spirit.
This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And a lot of his devices that he's going to use is our own people, as far as them being carnal. The charagma, the Beetlejuice, the spirit of the carnal Israelites, and he's going to use, trickery, money, the promise of freedom, the promise of money on your charagma to people who are going to be turning in the prophets, and that's all the wiles of the devil. And that's why you have to put on the whole armor of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
Ephesians 6:10.
This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Real quick, again, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Also, the book of Job, the 21st chapter, in the 27th verse, and it reads, "Behold, I know your thoughts and the devices which you wrongfully imagine against me." I'm gonna read it again. Got Babylon the Great happening in the background.
Back at it again.
Thievery, robbery. This is Job 21 and 27. "Behold, I know your thoughts and the devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me." Esau, Edom, what is he doing? The wicked watches the righteous and seeketh to slay him. He watches our videos. He watches when certain brothers go live, and he'll actually send bug outs to your camp, to try to get you locked up. And we're gonna see a lot more of these bug outs pop up at the camps. Pop up on brothers when they're doing camp and holding camp. And that's why we got to remain spiritual, man. Because we're not the Sakar. We're not ISPK. We're not going to beat Jake up when he comes up to the camp, and wants to fight. We're just not going to do that, man. We'll pack it up and keep it moving, and set up shop somewhere else. And we'll go back to that camp spot. And if people keep on bugging out, we'll switch spots temporarily. The beach is a great location. You've had a lot of Jakes come up and get edified there. But at the same time, if Esau is going to keep on sending bug outs there, hey, switch it up. We can use this spot.
I got verse. It's Galatians 5:16. It says, "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other. So that you cannot do the thing that ye would." And if we were still in the world, we would have been partakers of the flesh, man. Doing the things that we would have done in the world, of our past. Because all of us come from different walks of life. We've all been, in the streets, what I'm saying? We've all had at least a couple fights in our life. We would have got carnal what to do. However, we don't walk that way anymore. We walk by the way of the Spirit, as instructed by the Heavenly Father, right? Verse 18, it says, "But if you be led by the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are of these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance."
Hatred. That's what that bug that we had, man. He had a hatred against his own brother, man.
Because what did he see? He saw brethren and peace.
Yep.
And peace, which is in the scriptures. We were in that secret place.
Con.
We had that, that hedge around us. Okay, and that's what he couldn't understand. He had to be carnal.
This
right?
is
I was just finished out. It says idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, sedition, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time
what that bug out
past,
say?
that they which do such
That bug
things
out's
shall
getting kicked
not
off.
inherit the kingdom of the Most High.
Yeah, so bug outs who have the carnality spirit in what was it, Ephesians the 5th chapter, bro? They're not gonna enter. They're not gonna enter the kingdom of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. They're all gonna get destroyed, and that's prophecy, man.
This is the book of Matthew 5:25. "Agree with thy adversary quickly." And that's what we were trying to do. Like, it's like, hey, man, we ain't tripping off of you, man. We trying to teach, This is talking about, just when somebody comes up against you, as far as police, the powers that be, so on and so forth, you want to agree with them so you can just use guile and continue doing the work, man. And that's what we were trying to do. But at the same time, you know, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're going to get locked up.
Right. Because to endure to the end is to be out here.
Yeah.
To be out on the highways and the byways, to be able to do the sit downs. And if you get cardinal, guess what? You're going to be on lockdown. You know?
Yep.
Okay.
You're going to be in San Diego County or whatever county you're in, getting the hokey pokey, eating what's that
pork
shit?
sandwich or
Turkey, eating turkey a la king. You know, some nasty ass shit. This is Matthew 5:25. Agreeing with thy adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison.
The adversary could be anybody, man. The adversary could be your own people, man, your own family. You know, anyone adverse to Yahweh Shem Shai, man. You know, it can be law enforcement.
What's a joke?
Yeah, that's a joke. It could be law enforcement. It could be, you know, scoffers and mockers. You know what I'm saying? But agree with them, you know, quickly, unless they turn against you and throw you into prison.
That's crazy because, you know, most likely it's a police drone.
Yeah, they be having
They
a lot
found
of
this.
them. I know they over here.
Look, they came right here.
Watch,
too.
dude gonna come over here. He gonna come right over here. Like, they over here. We'll give you 200.
Damn.
This is Ephesians 4.
But that's Psalms 37. I get that. Psalm 37 and 32. You know, and we know Esau Edom. You watch our lessons. You know, you watch our live streams, but there's nothing you can do. You know, because it also says in the scriptures, "Touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm." You know, it's what's it say in Wisdom of Solomon 3:1. You know, there shall no harm happen to. I just let the brother get it. You know,
3:1.
yeah,
You can do nothing against the word, but for the word.
yeah.
Okay, because just like we're out here, you know, something happened, right? But we're able to edify and be able to use the scriptures to be able to, you know, give comfort to brothers and give, you know, wisdom. You know.
I got it right here, bro.
Just like when these other camps go off, you know, a lot of edification comes out.
Yeah.
Like you had Elder Apostle Gabar thanking Sakari, you know, in the form of, hey, thanks for speaking that stupid shit so we can go out and bring out edification.
Yep.
When these other camps come with their folly, a lot of times you'll have to dig into the scrolls and correct their folly, and brothers and sisters will get edified, man.
Getting sharp.
Heavy edification comes out when these other camps come with their bullshit, man.
Yep.
Because you go into the scriptures, you confound it, you build up another brother, and then he's out there able to get that same breakdown and teach others also. This is Psalms 37 and 32, real quick. Psalms 37 and 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. You know? But what does it say about that? The Lord Yahweh Shem Shai will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. You know?
Wisdom of Solomon, bro.
3:1.
3:1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery. And their going from us is to be utter destruction, but they are in peace.
Just 3:1. You know?
Can I read one more, bro?
Yeah, come.
Verse 4. It says, for though they be punished, and aren't we being
right there? Yeah.
and aren't we being punished, man, through these different you know agents that Esau sends to camps, right? It says, for though they be punished in the sight of man, yet their hope is full of immortality. And having been a little chastened, because ultimately in the spirit, what happened in camp with that bug out,
It's the chastening of Yahweh
that
Shem Shai.
as a chastening of Yahweh Shem Shai, yeah, towards you know the camp, but ultimately towards me in the spirit. But it says here, verse 5, and having been a little chastened, they shall be greatly rewarded. And how do you get rewarded? By staying spiritual, man. For Yahweh proved them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them. So we're being tried, man, like gold. And received them as a burnt offering. And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. So there you go, man. So these are different scenarios that we go through as brothers, man. Okay, going against these demons is to get our faith stronger and stronger, man. And there's a faith builder, okay, to keep us enduring unto the end. That's it, bro.
This is Psalms 37 and 34. Wait on Yahweh Shem Shai and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. And that's what we want.
Yep,
As far as
that's it.
we want to inherit the kingdom, and we want to see the downfall of our enemies, man, including the 2/3, man, the wicked house of Saul, man.
Yeah.
You know, the men coming against us, the people reporting our videos, you know, the people coming up and actually having the gall to come up to the camp and manifest their folly, knock over the cameras and so on and so forth, man. We want to see their eyes melt out their sockets,
Yep, that's
you
the
know,
second week
from
they
the
knocked
chariots,
over.
man. You know, we want to see Esau, Edom, turn on them, and then eventually bite them, man. And that's going to be your reward for trusting in this devil, man. Because you're not supposed to trust Esau, Edom. Never trust thy enemy, man.
Concept right 10. I got one more, bro. 1 John 3:11. For this is the message that you heard from the beginning, that we should love one another, not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous. Marvel not, my brethren, if the world hate you. So marvel not, man. Don't get surprised when, you know, when the scoffers come, you know, to the camp, or Esau sends again his agents, you know, his control position to try to and put your faith at a low level, man. Marvel not. You got to stay strong in the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai, man.
And that means you have the truth. Because as soon as the guy walked up through the spirit, I was like, demon alert, scoffer alert. Hey, you know,
Spiritual discernment. Bro.
just like, hey, you know, I can stay on point because I just sensed the energy on that guy. He was coming in the spirit of Cain, man.
I was telling the brother Kasad during camp session, he was behind that building where they danced, and he was just speaking every like 10-minute intervals to see if we were, you know, still out there so he can scoff, man. So hey, that's what's cool.
This is John 7:7. The world cannot hate. This is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach speaking in red letter. The world, John 7:7. The world cannot hate you, but me it hated, because I testify of it that the works thereof are evil. Okay, so and that's what we were doing out here. We're doing it right now. You know, we're testifying of what the evil wickedness of our 2/3 of our people, Esau, Edom, and how he's trying to take away the information, because we got to still push this word, because we're in the latter days, but we're not at the end yet. And then the end is what? Perfection. That means everything is we're lifted up in the chariots, and we get to see what? The downfall of our enemies. Lord willing, we're able to make that.
This is Sirach 2:1 and 2. Let's bring out a few of those articles and just close it down. This is Sirach 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. You're going to be tempted, man. You're going to be tried.
Right.
You know, let's read it again. Sirach 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. Make not haste in time of trouble. Constantly endure. You know?
Just want to get one more. Ephesians 4:22. That put off concerning the former conversation of the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. So if we would have went back to our old ways, what would have happened? Jail, all these things, death. But because we chose a righteous path, right? We're able to still preach this word and still have a chance at salvation, right? And be renewed in the spirit of your mind, right? Renewed in your mind, renewed in your lahab, and how you move. You're not moving the same way that you were moving when you were in the world. When this truth hits you, you started moving in a different way. Whether it's, you know, you started growing your beard, but or you started not celebrating pagan holiday, whatever that it was, to be able to move you in the spirit.
And as soon as we called the guy out on being an agent, I told him, you're just coming up here to try to get brothers locked up. He got mad. He tried to fight, you know.
Yep.
And I was like, let's wrap on up. Let's leave, man. You know, because all that is just an agent coming up to try to get brothers locked up. And you're gonna have more of that as we get closer to the end, man.
This is Ephesians 4:24, and that you put on the new man, which Yahweh our power is created in righteousness and true holiness. So that new man is rehearsing the right, Judges 5:11, rehearsing the righteous acts. You know, repenting, being ye converted, examining yourself. You know, prayer, fasting. You know, brotherly love, right? And you know, doing the work, whatever that your measure may be, and praying to Yahweh Shemel Shai, coming in the true name, fearing Yahweh Shemel Shai. And because we feared Yahweh Shemel Shai, we didn't have to be carnal. Okay, we didn't have to be carnal because we're looking at it. We're looking through that dude. You know what I mean? We're looking
beyond this kingdom.
Beyond. Our conversation again is what?
First Peter 3.
Yeah, our conversation is in heaven. Okay, you know, his conversation is just here, and what's going to happen here to Babylon? It's going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
You know, with a thermonuclear fire. Why? Because what are people doing here? Nothing. They're doing wickedness. Okay.
That's just to make a point. You said the fear of the Lord. You know, and us not getting carnal is the fear of the Lord because, hey, and what did it say? What is that? Isaiah 30.
Wisdom and
Knowledge
knowledge
shall be the middle of that time. You know, but in the fear of the Lord shall be his treasure. You know, so this is the fear of the Lord is we possess it as our treasure. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that's going to help us get through these times and the times to come.
And these agent provocateurs, these people that they send on suicide missions, they fear Esau.
Oh, okay.
That's why they give in to this devil, man. They fear being locked up. You know, who knows, this guy could just got out the feds. He could just be lying and be a federal agent, you know, agent provocateur. But he has fear of the devil. He has fear of Esau Edom. You know, not being taken care of, not having food, not having a roof over his head, you know, not getting that bag.
Like the brother said, no stability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he doesn't have knowledge and wisdom.
He doesn't have the comfort.
And he doesn't have no fear of Yahweh.
Yeah, this is 2 Timothy 1:7. For the Lord, for Yahweh Shemi Shai, had not given us the spirit of fear. We don't fear the devil, man. You know, we'll tell the devil to his face he's a damn devil. You know, we do it constantly on live streams,
but with
man.
this, with the word, you know what I mean? Not with our own, you know, our own feelings. This is what Yahweh Shemar Shai is saying. And he told us that
Malachi 1:3-4 says the Lord hates you. Sirach 27:24 says the Lord hates you. Romans 9:13 says the Lord hates you, man. Nahum 1:2-3. Sirach
50 and 26.
50 and 26.
Yep.
You know,
Ezekiel 35:1, prophesy against Mount Seir.
Isaiah 40:15 says the Lord hates you, man. You're nothing, man. Isaiah 40:17. 2 Ezra 6:54-56 says you're nothing, and less than nothing, and vanity. That's not what we say. We say the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai, man.
What King David said, I hate you with perfect hatred.
Yep. This is 2 Timothy 1:7. For the Lord, for the Most High, had not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And it's going to take a sound mind to endure into these last days. As you see right now, if you can turn the camera that way, you have in the sky, the eye in the sky right there. You know, constantly going about, circling us, so on and so forth, lurking
in the villages.
You know? That's Esau Edom.
Captured.
You know, we're not ignorant of saying we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. And all it is just desperation. You know, you're in scramble mode. You're losing. You're through. You know, the report is true, and you're trying everything you can to stop it.
Yeah, because the reason you don't want a new world order. They're doing that out of desperation. Okay, their whole Novus Ordo Seclorum, this whole thing that they put out, this is out of desperation because of Revelation 12:12. They know that they have but a short time. Okay, so they still think they have power. So this is going into that right here. It says, this is an article from February 9th. Okay, so it says DHS now, so this is Department of Homeland Security, now considers free speech as terrorism threat. Okay, so let's read a little bit of the article. All right, so Washington, D.C., it says, since the Biden administration cannot impede upon the First Amendment, the Department of Homeland Security has now published a terrorist advisory system bulletin warning of heightened threat environment nationwide. The wording on DHS publication is so broad that it appears to include constitutional protected free speech along with violent activity. Okay, so they're making the words of Yahweh, basically the word, this is intended for the prophets, okay? As far as preaching this word, the Amat, preaching this word in truth and sincerity. This is a shot at, at us, right? Because, and that's why you cannot be carnal in this thing. Because that carnality, they're going to start to point out those things, right? That's why when you look up Israelites on YouTube, it'll go to some straight carnal stuff. It takes
go straight to the Black Panther.
Yeah, it'll go straight. Yeah, and what were they doing over there? What was that? The GOC? Oh yeah, they were. I don't even want to say it was prophesied. They were out on the highways and the byways.
In the spirit of blackness.
Yeah,
and
they had black power. They had the African.
They had the
flag.
red, black, and green flag.
Yep. Yeah, they had the African American
flag.
flag
Of unconsciousness. The flag of Pan-Africanism.
Yep.
The flag of you still believing that you're black.
Yep.
You know, the flag of you believing the devil's doctrine, man.
Right.
You know, you were half woke Israelites, man.
Yep. Because that whole Black Panther vibe, the brown pride, that was all in Ezekiel 37 it was spoken about. Okay, and that didn't work. Why? Because we didn't have Yahweh Shemir Shai. Okay, so this is a way to attack, us as far as this word getting out, as far as on YouTube. But we know Yahweh Shemir Shai, this word's gonna get out to all of his elect, right?
you want to get the articles, we'll just go up from today on. And we'll just get like a good number and we'll just wrap it up. This is Galatians 4 and 16. Galatians 4 and 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? You know?
You want to start about Tuesday?
Maybe you want to start. Let me see.
I mean, because this is a new phone, so I went back to Friday when I got the phone.
We can start from there.
Okay, Friday.
Yeah.
So it says Biden. We'll just go through them rapid fire. So Biden regime declares those who question official government, that thing that they put out a couple years ago, narratives to be terrorists. Insane war on American people has been launched.
And we were just talking about these exact, accusations before this guy rolled up. That's why we know that these people who are coming up to the camps are agent provocateurs, hired people who are designed to, hire people, better yet, who were just coming up just because they're paid to, man.
Got a quick precept, Jeremiah 20 and 10. For I heard the defaming of many, fear on every side, and reports say they, and we will report it. All my familiars watch for my healthy, saying, peradventure he will be enticed, and we shall prevail against him, and we shall take our revenge on him. But the Lord is with me as a mighty, terrible one. Hey, so he's the real terrible one that's gonna terrorize a lot of you 2/3, man. Especially Esau Edom. But the Lord is with me as a mighty, terrible one. Therefore my prosecutors shall stumble, and they shall not prevail. They shall be greatly ashamed, for they shall not prosper. Their everlasting confusion shall never be forgotten. So there you go, man. The Lord is ultimately going to confound anybody that tries to go against the prophets, man. Because ultimately they call us what? Like it says in the article, terrorists. Okay? And we're not terrorists, man. We're not being carnal. The real terrorist is Esau Edom.
And that's deflection. That's what they're doing, is deflecting from what they're actually doing, right?
Making a boogeyman,
Yeah, making it. Yeah, and they always have a boogeyman.
This
out
nigga's
there.
the real boogeyman. You went around the earth stealing, killing, robbing, and then when we expose it, then we're the bad ones. We're the terrorists.
Yep.
No, actually, you're the terrorist, man. That's why nobody wants you in their country.
Yep.
That's why as soon as they see GI, they throw rocks at the tanks and so on and so forth, man. Because when they know that Esau Edom, aka the so-called white man, Idumea, Babylon, gets in their country, man, he's gonna leave it looking like a Call of Duty game, man. It's gonna be a war zone. It's gonna be just it's gonna be looking like, Baghdad. What's that? Lebanon. It's gonna be looking like Lebanon, man.
Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Yep. A dystopian state. Okay.
This is the next article. California bill will make Yo Jabba Jabba mandatory for employment. California. And that came out the 11th, This is from RT News. This is the next article. And it reads,
Sorry. Yeah.
And it reads,
No, it's not set up.
U.S. nuclear submarine violates Russian waters, defense ministry. So you have, at the same time, while all these things are happening, you got the bug outs coming up to the camps, you got men waxing worse and worse, you got war being brewed out there in the Middle East,
Just press right there and then go back to the audio.
It's your phone.
No, it's all good. So we're at the from Friday the 11th.
This is a lot of news.
This is the one I'm going to bring up. QR code. Never again. Police fire tear gas at demonstrators as Freedom Convoy enters Paris.
So you have the Freedom Convoy in Paris. You got the Freedom Convoy in Australia. And in Australia, when the Freedom Convoy is happening, you had people getting their phones shut off, and they were sending a signal to people's phones that was causing a jam, and it was.
Would they do that over there? I think it was Colombia or something.
Yeah,
where they knocked down the whole internet.
They're doing the same thing in Colombia, and what's happening worldwide is just a testing ground for when it happens to Babylon the Great. And as we were speaking about some of these things, literally 15 minutes later, the bug out comes up, and we were just talking about scoffers, mockers, agents, And the first thing he said, I just got the feds. We were just talking about how the feds are going to literally be trying to brand anybody who's speaking this word domestic terrorist. And they're starting to speak like it, and they're starting to put it out there in front of your face as far as Zero Hedge, News Target, RT News, Natural News, Blacklisted News. There's an article every day that's showing you that this man's the devil, man.
So this is the next one. It says both U.S. and Russia evacuate embassies in Ukraine as crisis enters uncharted territory. Okay, so this is we have Gog and Magog, which is Russia. Okay, and it's basically these nations saying that we are strong. Okay, so when so U.S. and Russia are evacuating embassies in Ukraine as crisis enters uncharted territory. So they're gonna go to war. This is all prophecy. Okay, they put all their troops up there. They spent all that money to bring in all those tanks and everything like that. Then they're withdrawing them. Okay, when Esau says something, you got to actually pay attention to what he's doing, as far as in the background. There's something else that he has brewing. Okay. Because we're at the point of the third woe, right? So this is Massachusetts high school trying to erase gendered terms from biology class. Okay, so that we had young Jeezy talking about his kid is gender fluid.
Non-binary.
Yeah, or non-binary. So they want to take away man and woman and bring in whatever, the XYZ, that we always speak about. Okay, and this is just Esau Edom showing his wickedness, right?
And this is what the agent provocateurs, people who are fighting for America, this is what you're fighting for. This is what you're fighting to keep in power. This is who you're fighting to rule over you, man. A complete reprobate, man. A man who hates life, a man who hates righteousness, a man who hates the Heavenly Father's chosen people, a man who hates, the lores of his own people, because amongst the people who look like him, you have Israelites, man, who actually believe, and that's not the way that some people would like the story to be written, but it's Yahweh Bashim Yahshai's movie,
So next article, New Zealand uses unusual tactics to flush out anti-mandate protesters. The parliament speaker used sprinklers and blasted annoying music to scare away demonstrators camping outside. Okay, so it reminds me of when they said blasting sprinklers. What were they doing to our people in the 60s?
Yep.
They were spraying them down because they were protesting for injustice. Trying to be
fighting to stay in a burning house.
Yeah,
Yep. And what was Martin Luther King's one of his final messages? That he sent his people into a burning house. As far as integration, equality, it was one of the worst things that civil rights and so on and so forth that's happened to our people. Because as that happened, Esau Edom introduced the next thing, which is welfare reform. And after that, he introduced, what was that? Black exploitation,
feminism,
black exploitation as far as the pimp movies and so on and so forth. Pushing the drug lifestyle.
Yeah, the Mac.
Yep, the Mac and all that stuff. And then after that, he introduced crack cocaine.
Yep.
And then you had gangster rap.
Yep. NWA. You still got Snoop Dogg. You guys saw at the Super Bowl. I know a lot of brothers didn't watch it, but just the vision, you might have seen it. Okay, Snoop Dogg's still in a gangbang mentality, about 55 years old. Still crip walking, still, through. But this is what people look up to. They call him Big Snoop, Uncle Snoop, all these things. But what is he doing? He couldn't for 2 seconds say, hey, let me not smoke some weed, so I can just enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment, far as being at the Super Bowl. I'm performing, but no, he had to get high because all the shit that he had to do to get to that point.
Dancing on top of
on FEMA camps.
On top of a FEMA cell.
Yeah, FEMA cell kind of.
Yep. That was right in front of people's faces for them to either see or not see. They had the people that had the MOTB in their hand. Yep. And that's what Esau Edom is pushing. He's pushing AI, digital currencies, merging man with machine, basically a social credit system like society like they have in China, man. And he's slowly but surely being successful with what he's doing. But ultimately, he's going to be cast down.
Yeah. It's going to go to naught. You know, his enterprise is going to be, you know, Job 5:12. So speaking about AI, right? AI could already be slightly conscious, expert claims. Okay, other experts are skeptical of accusing the open AI researcher of trolling. So we saw a robot slap somebody, right? Grabbed him or something like that. Then we had the movie I, Robot, okay, where the robot flipped on Will Smith, okay? And then so
Terminator in the 90s, the rise of the machines, so on and so forth. And you have a lot of people who took in that jump shot. Well, you're cyborgs too, man. You know, you have, we'll just say it, you have graphene oxide in you, man. You have a whole bunch of other stuff, and they're telling people who've taken that, you need to go down there and take an HIV test now, man.
Yep.
You know? What does that tell you?
Never trust that enemy. Sirach 12. If he doeth good, he doeth unwillingly.
You have,
lastly, will declare his wickedness.
You have NaNO particles in you. You know, you have a whole bunch of things that you're not supposed to be putting in your body inside you. And for those who've taken multiple, your immune system's weak now. So any little thing that comes along the line can knock you out. And that's why you have a lot of these athletes collapsing. You know, because their immune systems are weak. You know, they've been activated, and their bodies, they can't stand a lot of these people who've taken the jump shot. Their bodies can't stand the physical wear and tear that they used to be able to put on themselves, and then they just collapse.
Yeah, because what it does is it builds up in your system, and what it does is take away your the water in your system, which is going to be able to make you have on and on, right? So that's why we're giving our people warning. So when these groups were saying, hey, it's okay, and going in a tent and joking about it like it was funny, and now people took it, now what? So I'm saying those people that left you astray, those raving wolves, the congregation's gonna come back on them. Who do you think they're gonna look for? The people that told them to do it, because what, they trusted in man instead of using spiritual discernment. Okay.
When these people start dropping dead, man, you know what I'm saying, left and right, who you've taken the time out to teach false doctrine to and say go take it, then they're going to be looking for you, man. You're going to become the hunted in that day.
Yep.
Before men get spiritual power, you're going to be hunted, man.
Yep.
You know?
Spirits created for vengeance, right? So this is the next article. It says Canadian police arrived to remove Freedom Convoy protesters from Ambassador Bridge. So we spoke about this earlier, earlier in camp, as far as these convoys. They had one in Australia last year. I think it was in Paris.
And it's being put out there now. I didn't catch it at first that it's a psyop. It's a psychological operation set up by the wicked elite on a worldwide basis to implement martial law and to implement starving people out, food rationing, food shortages, and to create a drought on food. Because if there's no truckers, then you have nobody driving in goods. If you don't have anybody driving in goods, there's only a 2 to 3 supply chain in grocery stores, and it's only going to take that long for people to get into desperation mode. 48 to 72 hours, 96 hours after, let's say trucks on a worldwide scale stop running, whatever the situation is, or food runs out, you can't get food in because truckers are allegedly striking, when it's actually the government who's saying that and putting it on TV everywhere, just like they did with this whole thing. You remember when people were afraid to come outside? Yeah. Because of what they were saying in the news. That's how powerful Esau Edom's news is, man. Once again, you have to go into the root words of things. And, television, programming, telling lies to your vision and programming you, man.
Government, mind control. Okay. So, and then, medium.
That's what I was thinking of,
medium, witchcraft, sorcery. Okay. Where they're able to push forth their democracy, dividing people. Because what happened when the brother was bringing that out, Brother Ash, as far as when that thing came out a couple of years ago, you couldn't go to no one's house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And now what are they saying?
Yeah,
hey, you gotta have that card.
They have people telling on each other. In the United Kingdom, there was people actually snitching on their next door neighbors, talking about he's having a party. And that's how good the mind control worked. Yeah. Now you have people in the workplace, they're snitching on coworkers who haven't had the old jabba jabba.